May I help you, Inquisitor?
A spirit on the island held the memories and possessions of Ameridan's lover, a woman named Talana. It told us that Ameridan was here on orders from Emperor Draken himself, and where he went next.
Trusty's dimples. I may have received tenure from that sentence alone. Ameridan had a lover. Talana, you say? The Inquisitor's Lady Mage. There was such debate over whether she existed. And there were orders? This was a request from Draken? This changes everything.
What does it change knowing that Ameridan was on a mission from Emperor Draken?
Everything. One current theory holds that Ameridan was selfishly throwing off his responsibilities to go hunting. Another suggests Draken had him removed or even killed because Ameridan opposed the Navaran Accord. But if this is true, then Ameridan was a loyal servant of Orlais. He was not an embarrassment. He was a patriot protecting Orlais while Draken fought in the Second Blight.
You were surprised to hear that Ameridan had a lover.
Yes, this Talana you mentioned. Her existence has been hotly debated. Some scholars took Inquisitor Ameridan's respect for the Chantry to imply that he remained celibate. In ages past, there were stories about him and his lover, a mage. They made it out to be a star-crossed romance. The Chantry silenced the stories strenuously.
You don't have a problem receiving information from spirits?
It's not ideal, but since you found corroborating physical evidence, I see no serious issues. Any study of great wars and battlefields carries an inherent risk of contact with demons or spirits. When spirits are willing to talk, most historians love the chance of a first-hand report.
When I helped the Avar at Stone Bear Hold, we learned that the jaws of Hakkon once bound their god's soul to a beast. According to the spirits, the dragon Ameridan faced was powerful and accompanied by hostile Avar.
You believe they could be one and the same? That would mean... Of course! Of course! Brilliant! 800 years ago, the Second Blight threatened a weak Orlais. A perfect time for the Avar to attack. This Avar god dragon could have endangered the Orlesian Empire had Ameridan not stopped it. That explains why he would accept such a dangerous mission. And likely how he died.
How bad would it be if the contemporary jaws of Hakkon bound their god to a dragon again?
With Orlais still recovering from the Civil War and the Mage-Templar conflict, not to mention the scattered rifts and remnants of Corypheus's forces still causing trouble, a high dragon given malice and magic by an Avar god spirit could, hypothetically, destroy much of Orlais. At least, I hope that was hypothetically.
You're not concerned about the literal existence of an Avar god?
Not particularly. If the jaws of Hakkon once bound their god to a dragon, it is likely just a powerful spirit. That isn't to downplay the important cultural significance to the Avar, but magic does not equate godhood. Every blight comes from the old gods, which are also dragons corrupted by some outside influence. Sometimes I wonder if we really know what we mean by gods.
History forgot about an attack by a giant magic dragon. If you want something done right, the spirits said to follow the river to the north, and something about spires or spikes.
Up the river. The scouts have had trouble with Hakkonites up there. I'll continue my research, but for now, your guess is as good as mine.
What do you need me to do next, Professor?
That spirit on the island said something about Ameridan going upriver to, someplace with spires? While you search upriver, I'll continue studying these buckles. That, sounded better in my head.
I'll speak with you later.
up the river. That old Tevinter building must be what the spirit meant.
This is brilliant. This must be what the spirit meant. Excellent find. From what I can see, this is an ancillary station. Likely a scouting post for the larger structure to the east. What can it tell us about where Inquisitor Ameridan went? This is Tevinter, from well before the last Inquisitor's time. I understand they use such tiles as locks. Interesting, though not likely related to Ameridan. Brilliant! Look at that! Veneras. The elven word for dream, I think. It's some sort of clue to this barrier. Not sure how. Oh, well done. Well done indeed.
That's something you don't see every day.
A pair of shrines. This one is clearly Andrastian, albeit from a very early period, likely pre-divine. But this is Elven, one of their gods. What was it? Every mother finds Druffalo among sleeping juniper groves. G something. The one with the deer.
That would be Gillenar, mother of the Hala.
Yes! Brilliant, thank you. Oh, that would have bothered me all day.
2 shrines for 2 lovers. Inquisitor Ameridan and Talana. Maybe Talana was an elf.
Oh, yes. That's good. The Chantry expunged references to elves before the Exalted March on the Dales. They erased the Canticle of Shartan. They must have done the same to Talana.
The Chantry should not rewrite history to cover up inconvenient truths.
Regardless, the important thing is what this tells us. It's not a burial site. That much is obvious.
Look at those flowers. They're not native to the area. What if they were left at the shrine as an offering?
Yes. A night of prayer before battle against the dragon. But then where? Where? We're missing something. What are we missing? Oh, where did you go?
Professor, look at this. Shartan 10-7 and Transfigurations 10-1.
Shartan is dissonant. And before them, empty, outstretched, lay the land which led to the gates of Minrathous. The Transfigurations is, the light shall lead her safely through the paths of this world. Why these verses? Why would Inquisitor Ameridan take the time to carve this before going into battle?
Gates of Minrathous. Isn't there a Tevinter fortress in the area?
Yes. Oh, of course! The ritual site! To seal the dragon away, Ameridan's elven mage must have used a spell at a site of great power.
My scouts have checked the fortress. It's sealed behind a wall of ice. It has to be magic.
Let's look around. American found a way through that ice, so that way should be nearby.
Behind them?
And every lock has a key.
Like these trail markers. American must have known how to use them. If they can melt through the ice, that must be where American sealed away the dragon.
I'll follow the markers and see what we can find.
Let's hope these trail markers can breach the wall of ice around the fortress.
At least the trail markers appear to be functional.
You think these things will get us through that giant fortress wall?
Shall be reduced to wading.
I don't know what you're complaining about. You're taller than I am.
With the Inquisition, what about yours? People like you, nobles, you send men to do your dirty work, your killing. And here you are, getting your hands dirty. Curious.
There is nothing curious about it. So much is at stake. Why would I leave any of it to someone else?
The path destroyed. We'll have to find another way around. That to Winter Fortress shouldn't be much further.
Do you actually see me playing the game, Vivian?
Not now, perhaps, but you could.
Wearing ball gowns and painted masks, decking myself in jewels and curtsying to suitors.
It is a battle, my dear. The armor and the weapons differ, but just as much blood is spilled.
I never thought of it quite like that.
You are a warrior, Cassandra. You'll be one whether you dress in steel or lace.
think our mountain climber was here.
It's a hill, not a mountain. Or will it be a mountain one day?
Over there.
Just in time! Join the fray! The fight's a worthy one! Well fought. I'd heard lowlanders were about. You'd be the Inquisitor, from the hand.
Your cousin was looking for you.
Oh? Oh! The fishing! I was to help Lena with the fishing. I must make an offering to the gods first. Shall I give your names in the prayer?
What's an offering prayer?
I've climbed this hill 1,000 times. Today, it was as if a wind from the spirits lifted me. I was going to thank the gods with a brace of nugs. That beast must have scented the meat.
You offer meat to spirits.
But the Lady of the Skies sends her birds, and Korth Mountain Father sends his wolves and bears. They wouldn't normally hear the prayer of a lowlander, but since you helped in the fight, I'll speak for you.
I'd be honored to be mentioned in your offering.
The spirits will remember.
It is nice to be remembered.
Do as you wish, Inquisitor. I see no wards on this shabby little shrine.
A prayer. To spirits.
The Lady keeps the skies, where blows the morning wind. Korth grants mountain shelter, Hakkon blooded hide and bone. Take this gift from Runa Learsdotten, and the Inquisitor from the lands below.
I just felt something.
A blessing? That's a good sign. You bring fine luck, Herald.
Interesting. As if the spirit were gaining a taste for this world.
We've been favored. The gods don't always appear. I'll tell Lena this tale. Perhaps a good story will put a smile on her face.
When you are ready, you have our blades, Inquisitor.
You said that the Jaws of Hakkon first tried binding their god in mortal form hundreds of years ago.
What of it?
In our search for Inquisitor Ameridan, we learned that he came here to fight a great dragon 800 years ago. A dragon that came from the mountains with Avar warriors to attack the lowlands.
Your last Inquisitor must have fought well to stop Hakkon himself.
You're not bothered by the idea that our Inquisitor killed your god?
He didn't kill him. That would have been easier. Whatever fight your Inquisitor finished, the Jaws of Hakkon started. I find no fault with a warrior defending his people.
Do the Avar gods take mortal form on a regular basis?
No, the gods belong in the land of dreams. Whether it is their wish or some augurs that brings them here, battle tears will be shed. The skulls say the Lady of the Skies took mortal form when Tyrda Brightaxe first led the Avar to the mountains. They say many things about Brightaxe and the Lady.
I will speak with you later.
Farewell.